Alright, welcome back to another video, and in this video I am going to be showing off this vintage Sony TV8 tuner timer unit from 1985. This is a TT-V8, and I decided I would make this video because I cannot seem to find any video on YouTube that actually about this particular unit, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of documentation on it whatsoever. So I decided, what the hell, I'll do a video on this, and perhaps it might help somebody who might find one of these out and about somewhere at a thrift shop or secondhand shop or whatever. So before I start to explain what this unit is exactly, we need to talk about the history of Video 8. So by 1985, it was pretty clear that Sony's Betamax format was obviously going to lose to VHS. And everybody at this point knew this, including Sony, that Beta, its days were done, and it was going to lose very easily. So Sony, realizing that of course Beta, wasn't meant for this world, decided to create a new home video cassette format. They decided that this cassette format would end up succeeding VHS and becoming the new dominant home video format. And in 1985, they finally released it, calling it Video 8. Now Video 8, the main difference between Video 8 and the previous VHS and Beta cassette was that the Video 8 tape used 8mm wide tape instead of the half-inch tape found in a Beta cassette or a VHS cassette. This, of course, allowed the Video 8 tape to be much smaller than its companions, while providing the same video quality. And in 1985, Sony released some 8mm camcorders, like this one right here, and some 8mm home VCRs. And they thought that this format would end up replacing VHS. But as we all know, unfortunately, it did not. VHS continued to be the dominant home video format, and very few people ended up buying 8mm VCRs. But, however, their camcorder format was very successful. The Handycam line of 8mm video cameras was very popular throughout the 1990s, and they continued to make these cameras until the 2000s. So while Video 8 was a failure in the home market for VCRs, it succeeded in the camcorder market and competed against JVC's VHS-C format. So now let's go ahead and start talking about this tuner timer unit. So this is just a tuner timer unit. You might be wondering, where's the tape transport? Well, that's where this thing comes in here. This is a Sony V8 AF camcorder. This was one of the first Video 8 camcorders that they launched. And if you look at this, on the side, there is a sort of plug for the multi-connector. And if you look on the back of this VCR, you will see that there is a cable coming out of it. And if we put this camera up on top of the VCR like this, and we plug in this multi-connector, if I can get this in here correctly, basically, this works as a VCR as well. And this is a very clever concept that Sony had. Basically, this camcorder can actually serve as a VCR. It pulls double duty as both a camcorder and a VCR. Now, this multi-connector provides power and will charge the battery, and it will also send video and audio signals between the camera and the VCR and the tuner timer unit. So this was a very clever idea. So like when you were home, you could plug this in, plug your camcorder in, and either watch your tapes and record television programs. And then when you wanted to go out, you could just unplug this multi-connector and take this camera with you. A very clever idea. Sony had been doing this for quite a while with their Betamax Portapack VCRs. And it continued on into these Video 8 VCRs. I think this is a really clever idea that they did. I guess the only problem with this would be if you wanted to film something on this camcorder, but there was also a show that you wanted to record at that time. That was probably the only problem with this, but this was just a very clever idea of doing it. This basically acts as the tape transport, and this is the actual television tuner. So now I'm going to show you the buttons and inputs and outputs on this tuner timer unit. I'm not going to go too much into the actual VCR unit, the camcorder, because That's for another video I can do, but I'm just going to be mainly talking about the actual tuner timer unit. So, of course, you've got your power button right here, your IR sensor for a remote control, which I don't have, unfortunately. And then you've got your display here with your, I think it's a VFD. You've got your time and your channel. Right here, this will select between your TV channels and the VCR when you want to watch a tape. As you can see, it will light up there. And then this thing comes out, and then you've got your buttons for the clock settings and the timer settings. And then you can select between the tuner, the line input, and the camera. And then right here you have a slot for a battery, a NP22 battery, if that's focusing. You just put it into here. Oh look, I'm 15. You just put it into here, and then it will charge. You hit this button. This is the button that will charge the battery. Let me see if I can get a better close-up on the buttons here. So hopefully that is a better shot of the controls here. So as you can see, there is a button to charge the battery. This will only work when the tuner timer unit is off. You can either charge the battery in the camcorder or the one in the slot. And if I hit the charge button, now it's charging the battery in the camcorder, not this battery. If I hit it again, then it will try to charge this battery in the slot. And I can hit it again to turn it off. And I cannot charge both of them at the same time. It's either the one in the camcorder or the one in the actual tuner timer unit. So this battery doesn't hold much of a charge. I think the one in the camcorder holds somewhat of a charge. I haven't really charged it fully and actually seen the battery life on it. But yeah, again, here are your buttons again. You've got your input select, and then here are all the buttons for the tuner and the timer. I'm going to talk more about the actual clock settings and the tuner timer stuff for setting like the time to record shows. I'll be talking about that later, but not right now. And then right here you've got your just to change the channel, you just hit this button and it will change the channel. And then let's move on to the back of the VCR. Alright, so here's the back of the VCR. My lighting isn't perfect here, so forgive me for this. I'm kind of holding a light in my hand. So right over here you've got the just the sticker, the serial number. It's actually 200096, which I think is an early serial number. This, I think, means that this was the 96th unit that came out of the second factory that they used to produce these machines in. So that's pretty interesting. And then it also displays the voltages out. Right here is an AC outlet. I'd assume this is where you plug your television into, and it can provide up to 300 watts. So there's that. Then let's move over to the inputs here. If you move over to the inputs here, you'll see that we've got video in and video outputs, and then we've also got audio in and audio out. It is not a hi-fi tuner, so it's only mono audio. And then over here is the date code. The date code's 5A, so that means it was manufactured in 1985. And then right here, just some FCC stuff. Again, please excuse my lighting here, but as you can see, you've got your antenna in and outputs. This is the output to go to your TV, and then this is the input from your antenna, or cable TV, I think, because this tuner can also pick up cable channels, I think. Analog cable channels. And then right here is the switch for the RF modulator. You can select either channel 3 or channel 4 with this switch. And then right here is the VTR plug. This is the plug that plugs into that camcorder. So that's basically everything on the back of the tuner timer unit. Alright, so now I am going to show you how you actually program shows on this tuner. So first of all is, of course, setting the clock. You hit this button, that's clock set, and first you set, of course, the day of the week. I have it already set, and then you just set the hour here, and then you hit next again, and then the time again, and then you just hit next, and that's how it works. It's very easy. But now we'll talk about how programming actually the timer actually works. So what we hit is we hit timer set, and I actually have some events set, so let me go ahead and just clear those. Okay, now it's clear. So you'll see that this is the event number 1. I think this is a 4 event timer. I could be wrong. I think it could be more than that, but I think it is a 4 event timer. So the first thing we set is the day of the week. that we want to record. I believe this, where all the days are flashing, I believe that means that it will record either, I think, every day. I'm not entirely sure. But let's say there's a thing I want to watch, and this is a 21-day timer, so you'll see that it says next week. And then after that, it actually says after next week. Actually, just after next. So I can go all the way, I think, 2 weeks ahead. Actually, I think 3, I'm not entirely sure, but it is a 21-day timer. So I'll just say I have a show that's on Friday, so then I hit next, and I believe this will record on every Friday. I think it's weekly. Correct me if I'm mistaken, I don't have a manual for this, so I'm just kind of winging it here. But then you set the time that it's on, so let's say it's on at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, and then I set when exactly on 8 o'clock it is, so let's say it's 8:05 or something. I'll just leave it at 8, and then you hit next, and now it switches to off. So now it's going to ask you how long do you want to record for, how long does the show go for. So let's say it goes till 10:30, so I'll put in 10 p.m. and then I'll put in 10:30, and then I just hit next. And that will create a recording that will record from 8 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. And then I'll select the channel. This is over the air, so I'll just say it's on channel 4. And then I just hit next, and there we go. It will just show me what I've entered. And now that is set up. So to check the event, all I have to do is just hit the button that says check, and then it will show me the first event. So as you can see, the first event I have it set to turn on 8 p.m. on channel 4, and then if I hit check again, it will show when it turns off. So again, I set it to be 10:30 p.m. when it turns off, so it shows me that. And then I just hit check again, and it goes back to the regular clock. So again, I can program another thing. Let's say I have a show that's on, this is the second event. Say I have a show that's on every day. Let's say I want to record the Today Show or something. Let's say it starts at 6 a.m. Okay. And then when I want it to turn off, let's say I want to record till 7. So I'll just say 7, and then I hit next again. And then I select the channel that I want to record. Let's say it's on channel 7. And then I hit next. And then it will confirm again and check it. I just hit the check button again. First it will show the first event, so I just hit check again and then again. And now, as you can see, this is the second event. As you can see, I set it up to record every day at 6 a.m. on channel 7 and go till 7 a.m. and there we go. And that's it. Now I'm not going to put in 4 different events. I think you get the gist of how you set it up to program. So basically, when you actually want to turn on the recordings, all you have to do is just turn the unit off, the tuner off, and I just hit this button that says timer record. And basically that's it. You'll see if on the display it says timer record, it's in timer record mode, and now it will record those shows. It will turn on when it reaches the time, and it will start recording, and then when it ends, it will stop recording and turn off. And there is one other function I want to show on here really quickly. Let me just turn timer record off. If timer record is on, you actually can't turn on the machine. You have to turn off the timer record before you can actually power on the machine normally. Quick timer is basically, again, I don't have a manual for this, but I believe it's just, you can just set it to record a show instantly. So let's say I want to record channel 9 right now. And then I hit next, and then I just say, I actually hit quick timer again. And as you can see, it's going to start recording for 30 minutes, and I can actually, I believe I can adjust the time if I hit, it's actually recording right now, I'm going to stop that. But basically, it will just instantly record the channel without having to program anything, so I guess, I don't know what this would really be used for. I guess if it's like breaking news or something and you wanted to record it, I mean, let's say it's 9/11 or something, and you wanted to really get a copy of that, historical event or something like that, you would instantly just hit quick timer and do something like that. I'd assume that would be one of the uses you would want to do that. And you can select the channel, and then there is a way you can actually set the time. I forget how to do it. I had it working before. Alright, so I found out how to do it, just fiddling around with it because I don't have a manual again. You just set the channel that you want to record, and then you hit the button again, and as you can see, if I hit the button again, it will make this longer. And I can go up to end, which I assume when it runs out of tape. So if I just leave it like this, it will record 30 minutes, and then it will shut off. And it is recording right now. So that's basically the quick timer function on this recorder. So that's pretty much how the tuner timer works, how you set the clock and how you program the show that you want to watch with the programmable timer. So that's pretty much everything on this VCR. There is some stuff up here, there's some controls up here. There is a button up here that will actually change between over-the-air and cable. As you can see, it actually says CATV. I assume that means cable, because I think cable was a thing by 1985. Alright, so that basically concludes my video on this Sony tuner timer unit from 1985. I hope you enjoyed this video. My camera wasn't focusing properly sometimes. Hopefully that's not too big of a deal on the final product. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to be making more videos. I just haven't been able to because of the whole COVID thing kind of getting in my way, but that is my review on this Sony TT-V8 tuner timer unit. So goodbye.